we got a special guest with us tonight. Kendrick West of Millennium Studios. Tafari sent us this clip. And we lost our collective shit. It's the Brave ones. It's his 3D animation. Kendrick, my guy.
Sir.
Hey, what's going on?
You magnificent genius, you. That's all I gotta say about
I'm gonna
that.
put you up here because I'm gonna put you on front screen because first off, the clip alone, which I'll be showing shortly, blew my mind.
Thank you.
We're seeing levels of animation that's being done better and brighter and blacker, dare I say. It's there. And I'm gonna show. I had to use part of the clip as part of the promo. I'm like, I cannot not use this. Like,
if y'all are not subscribing to his YouTube, y'all need to go over there. It is dope. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yes, Kendrick, I'm the weird one of the bunch, so just get ready for it. I'm the weird one.
I'm gonna show a quick clip of this because, and shout out to Villainous Beats because he's actually done the music on this. So and I got you on that song on Villainous. Villainous is starting to become the in-house DJ.
Forget my absence. 2 years I've been stuck in my head. No ideas circulating. Spent a whole year thinking my dream was dead. Went through shit that I'll never forget. There's some shit that I'll always regret. Had toxic family members, let them all go. Still love you, I wish you the best. But that's what I needed to grow. So many opinions and people are pleased. And I don't give a fuck no more. And I don't give a fuck no more. Never wanna say that about your kinfolk, but they change more times than the wind blow. And something gotta give, so now I do everything for who I think is best for. Sometimes that's what I hate myself for, that I gotta be so damn selfish with my time and energy until you get the best me. So I guess it's really selfless. Not something I really should apologize for, but I got a good heart, can't help it. It used to
Deacon.
Hey, old man. Long time no see.
About time you came by. I got bored waiting on you.
My bad, Kwaku. I'm still getting used to these new abilities.
So, you've been practicing while I was gone.
I have, between classes. I even made these to help with that thing that you showed me.
Show me.
Okay.
No, like me.
Really?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Still some issues controlling your strength, huh? Let's work on that. Very nice. Come on, Deke. have improved.
I guess so. Thanks.
Let's keep going.
Not gonna give him no more. I'm not giving him no more. Don't give him
That last punch, yo, that last punch was everything.
not giving y'all no more. Y'all got to go to the YouTube channel to check that out. That Kendrick, my God, dude.
Sir, I cheers on that one, sir. Cheers.
So
thank you.
First off, when did you start getting into 3D animation?
Actually, about back in 2020. Well, I want to say really late 2019. I started fooling around with Blender and stuff like that. I'd always been interested in 3D animation. Probably since like 2010. My first time really just getting into it was by you may know who he is and may not know who he is, but he's passed away now. His name is Monty Ohm. He's the creator of the Dead Fantasy series. He also went on to do some stuff with Rooster Teeth. He Rumby or RWYB, whatever it's called.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby. Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah,
That's why I was trying to figure out. Like, I know that name's familiar.
So when you mention Rooster Teeth, it's automatic. Ruby comes to mind automatically.
I got exposed to him with Dead Fantasy, and that was like when I saw that, I was like, man, I know if I could just find the software to do this stuff, I could do it. But this is like it.
Wasn't Dead Fantasy the Final Fantasy fighting movie where it was all the female characters?
Yep, that's it.
Yo. Sorry.
I still go back and watch it every now and again just so I can kind of see. Basically, I'm trying to match his level of choreography and just intensity in his fights. But long story short, I got interested in it in 2010, but at the time the barrier to entry was so high as far as with software like Maya, and Blender wasn't a thing back then. I kind of was at a standstill, so I kind of just did my time, developed my stories, and then once an opportunity came, I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. And that was by me. Sorry if you hear my kids in the background.
Hey, next generation.
This is the beauty of live. That's why I said I'm doing straight live.
But I went ahead and took the jump. I went to Full Sail right when the pandemic started, so I had plenty of time on my hands to take care of that stuff. I graduated and I started in April 2020. Graduated in I want to say 2021. Late 2021. And once I graduated, I hit the ground running. I started let me not say I hit the ground running. Up until that point, I'd been doing like pre-production stuff. I'm getting assets ready, buying stuff. This stuff cost a lot of money. I think I probably spent about $10,000 or $12,000 of my own money just to get that first episode off the ground.
Wow,
that's a lot of bread.
That's sandwich money right there, y'all. Let's go.
And and not all at once. Of course, like I said, over the course of about a year and a half was pretty much my pre-production time. But I pretty much got all the assets that I wanted ready during that time period. So now I can kind of just go. If I can kind of just do my thing now without having to worry about a whole bunch of pre-production stuff. But anyway, to answer your question, I got interested in 2010. I actually picked it up late 2019, and I started production of episode 1 pretty much when I started school. So it was about a year and a half of pre-production. But yeah, 2020 is when I really just dipped my feet in it and started doing my thing. Sorry for the long rambling answer.
No, we want the ramble. We want the ramble.
That's why I said you need to come through.
By the time you showed up down there at the bottom,
he's got to get the engines primed. It's just the thing doesn't work.
Spartan hasn't had a smooth entry like a month. Y'all let that man live.
Man, you needed to replace that rubber stopper. You know that prime button like you do on the lawnmowers. It's like okay.
He's been fixing engines and slaying napkins all at the same time. The man he needs a medal.
No, somewhere Obi's doing a handstand on a rock on top of a Lego.
So Kendrick, one thing I can appreciate, especially about this video that I just recently showed, the Juneteenth flag, the black flag of independence
on the wall.
Had a lot of people caught that.
If you're blackity black, you caught it.
Pretty much.
Because I seen it, I'm like, yo, the flag's in the back. Even Tafari said it, the flag, and I'm like, yeah, the flag's in the background, baby.
You got the black African American flag back there. You got Ghana, which is where, of course, Makwaku hails from. You have Guinea-Bissau, which is where my ancestry comes from, and a couple other flags, but those are the most prominent ones.
One, this was giving, just that alone was giving Matrix when Neo and Morpheus, when he's training Morpheus, or when Morpheus is training Neo. And
that's where I got my reference from.
Nice.
You can see that. You can say it. Show me. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go.
It's safe to say that, and I'll always go back to December 21st. This is when everybody's got their superpowers. You started around when you really started digging your heels in, is probably around the same time all black people superpowers kicked in. It's just kind of happened that way. We're not the X-Men, and so it's not those extravagant situations, but what I've noticed is a lot of POC creatives decided 2020 was the year, flat out, like full stop. We're not waiting anymore. Entrepreneurs, creatives of all types, backgrounds, cosplayers, artists, writers, they just said to hell with it and run with it.
Well, that COVID thing had a lot to do with that, because you had a whole bunch of time on your hands. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the hell can you do? Go ahead and take care of stuff that you've been putting on the back burner for years.
There was no more excuses. What's going on, guys? How you doing, sweetie? There was no more excuses. There was no more excuses. You say you want to start a project, and you say, well, life gets in the way. Well, you weren't going anywhere. You weren't doing anything. So what the hell? I'm just saying.
No, it sounds like the Everest College commercial.
Get off your tail.
Going anywhere. You ain't doing nothing. You're on your phone all day.
You sit in front of the TV all day. Well, do something with your time. Go and contact Everest. Oh Lord.
It was at that moment he realized his calling was a life coach.
So you already mentioned that this was part of your inspiration was The Matrix. What else?
Reference was The Matrix.
The reference was The Matrix.
Inspiration was Monty Ohm. I got to give that man his props, man.
Give it to him. Flowers. One thing we don't do enough.
He is the one who started. I don't recall ever seeing any 3D animated stuff as far as fights go before Monty Ohm. I actually, even before, I actually saw Monty Ohm stuff before I knew it was Monty Ohm. When I was still, I was stationed in North Carolina when I was serving in the Marines, and I came across this thing called Haloid. I don't know if y'all know what that is, and I'm probably aging myself too. But
yeah,
it it was a small clip that I saw, and I was like, man, that's something I wouldn't mind trying. And, I just kind of seen it, and then I come across the guy again 4 years later in 2010. So everything's kind of been leading towards his. Like I said, but long story short, he is, excuse me, the pioneer of that stuff, of just really intricate choreography, 3D animated fights. No one did it before him.
Okay.
So got to give that man his props. Rest in peace.
So I want to ask you, and I don't know if you want to give too much away about the story of the Brave Ones, but talk about that.
Okay, I give you a synopsis. So you saw, what's a good way to pitch it? Well, the story of the Brave Ones is about Deacon West, college kid. He came into his powers by chance, which I don't want to spoil that because that's going to be something I'm gonna hopefully get to later on down the line. But basically, the story is he's trying to figure out. Well, as you saw at the end of episode 1, you didn't show it, but at the end of episode 1, Kwaku ends up getting killed in a massive explosion. Before that explosion happened, Kwaku basically gave Deacon a little pep talk about the whole power and responsibility shit. Not so much in those words exactly, but basically saying, if you have these, you have intelligence.
The Uncle Ben speech.
Yeah,
right.
You have intelligence. You have the strength. You want to do good in the world. Don't just use your mind. Use your might as well and make a difference. And Deacon took that stuff to heart. I mean, he wasn't a vigilante at this point, but his adopted father, which that's what Kwaku is, his adopted father being killed kind of pushed him into that direction to become a vigilante, but also try to figure out what really happened that night when he was killed. The story itself takes place in Memphis. I know if you look at the background on there, it looked like it was New York, but I hadn't purchased the Memphis model yet. So juxtapose everything on Memphis, Tennessee. It happened in South Memphis.
I love Memphis. I'm sorry. I love Memphis. I love that city. Good grief.
You know where Riverside is?
Yeah. Oh, you got it over there.
Yeah, that's where the whole it'll say it in part 2. But it's called the night that explosion happened is called the Riverside event. And that's really kind of like the jumping off point for a lot of the story that's going to be happening. It's going to be a bunch of, basically a big conspiracy surrounding that whole thing.
I like the idea, and I've seen this pattern. I like the idea of a lot of POC creatives when they have these characters or these stories created, that they're not in your typical city. Like, it's not like New York all the time, right? Or LA
or California,
or so just it's somewhere where you would be more in tune with
people.
Yeah, where your kind are at, where your people are at. So to say it's from Memphis, Tennessee, it works out. It helps, and you get a better understanding, better idea.
I actually like it when they have it in any creators use those out of the I want to say the normal settings for a superhero movie or a superpower film. I think it's especially the more obscure or the less utilized, the more people are going to be curious about why did you decide to pick Sioux Falls, Iowa? I mean, I'm kind of curious. Why did you pick Montpelier, Vermont? I mean,
it's the same with the Dakota verse. Like, who was looking for Dakota?
Right.
Yeah.
Who's looking for Dakota? But it works. So when you have characters that look like us, that represent us, coming from backgrounds where we actually live, it's more relatable.
Yeah.
And even to have that Uncle Ben trope still helps because once again, it's relatable. We all have had that figure in our lives. It could be the neighbor, it could be the uncle, it could be the older cousin who was like, hey, not like that. You know,
it's like, always got to be Uncle Iroh somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, don't call me out like that. Don't do that. Okay? I don't have my tea with me. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Oh, the tea's a dramatic effect. That's what you get. That's what you set them up.
So that's my problem then, because I keep drinking tea instead of coffee now. I've entered my Uncle Iroh stage. Some bitch.
And sorry, gentlemen, if I stepped off the mic for a second. My kids
are.
You're fine.
All of a sudden, they want attention.
Look, Spartan's little helper. He'll show up somewhere halfway through the show.
You're completely fine. Trust me.
I mean, as you can hear in the background, this is how I kept my dad entertained during COVID, and now he's turned it into a business. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's popping over there.
So I like this idea of the brave ones. One, number two, I love the way this thing looks.
Thank you. It was on purpose.
It's very clean. Very, very clean.
It is. Just the fight choreography alone. And I'm like, oh. And you're right. I don't think I'm going back as far back as Beast Wars and Reboot. I haven't seen like clean fight choreography in this form.
So
I get they just doing a bunch of smash and grab stuff.
Yeah,
in the old 3D stuff.
Yeah,
nothing. I'm an 80s 90s kung fu kid, so I love that stuff.
Let's go.
So okay, and we used to play karate and when I was a kid all the time. So of course I want to bring that stuff into my medium if I can.
No, the panoramic style of the fight and just going around the fighters. Oh, wow, that's always welcome.
The Shaw Brothers style productions.
Yeah.
Yo, I think I don't know about anyone else, but seeing a kung fu movie on a Friday night. Yeah, seeing a kung fu movie on a Friday night and then Saturday get with your friends. You see it last night, yeah, pop.
And then someone dislocates a finger.
I'll keep asking you not to call me out. Why is this the thing?
It happened to you too. I just witnessed it.
Let's just try this running lariat just one time. I just need you to stay still. I'm going to just come straight across the chest, but don't flinch.
Trust me, it'll work. And that's it. Look like no.
You go back in the house. Look what I did. Oh my god.
It's worse. Was like I felt something pop. Is this okay?
Why does it wiggles the other way?
Why does my finger look like a chair? So you're amongst like-minded individuals.
So Kendrick, I have a question with everything. First of all, I like what you've done. It's fantastic, and I can't wait to check it out after we're done for the evening. What has been the most difficult part of the production process for you since you started not too long ago? So I know you've had a lot of lessons, but what's been the most difficult part?
Well, the animation comes easy. Figuring stuff out, that's just kind of par for the course. I'm as you probably mentioned in my bio, I'm an IT professional as well, so I kind of
once again
like figuring stuff out.
You're amongst friends.
He is his own troubleshooter. Okay.
Yeah, I'm troubleshooting stuff on the fly, and if I can't find, I pretty much found an answer for damn near everything that I was trying to do. There's a few things that I just can't do because the rig that I have just isn't powerful enough. But I want to say the hardest thing to deal with, man, I kind of don't want to say it because I got on to somebody about complaining about this stuff all the time. The hardest thing about it is the lack of support, honestly, because I love animating. Like if I didn't like what I was doing, I probably would have stopped by now. my main audience really is for my kids. They love what I'm doing. So even if only 3 people watch it, I'll probably still make it just for them. But I got kind of, as an artist, you kind of want people to see your stuff and you kind of want them to talk about it. So yeah, I'm just making it for my kids, but man, I would really love it if a few thousand people watch it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of engage with me on it. It's an artist thing. No matter what you do, you can't escape it. That's been the hardest thing. And I talk to my friend all the time about this. It's not like you're buying into anything. It's just you're watching. You know what I'm saying? And leaving a comment and, maybe a like. Whether it's a good comment or a bad comment, just so long as you're being engaging, And well, actually, let me backtrack. The hardest thing is hearing fellow Black folks say that they would love if somebody did something like this. Somebody comes along and do it, and no one's showing up. That's actually the hardest thing, because now you kind of get pissed and you kind of look at your people like, man, y'all don't like anything. Y'all, it's not coming from a white person. You don't want it. 'Cause, and that's also part of my degree had to do with statistical analysis. So I went and looked at this stuff. It's kind of not our fault. It's kind of where our people are conditioned to only like what someone else likes before us. Like if we won't like it unless it's popular. So
you're not wrong.
I don't want to put a race behind it, but you kind of know who's the main.
You are on one of the blackest podcasts out there. Like we're not afraid to touch those buttons.
We are the Napoleon cake of the Blerd podcast. Okay.
Napoleon.
Well, it seems like
Snoop.
I don't even want to say unless a white man touches it. It just has to be popular first.
Yeah.
And usually it's not going to get popular unless a white person pushes it. Let me not even say a white person. Some big.
No. You're not wrong. No, you're not wrong.
Look at the entirety of TikTok.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
Oh yeah, a lot of Black creators getting this stuff stolen on there.
Oh yeah.
Remember the whole Jimmy Fallon thing where the girl had her dance stolen. The white girl go. Damn, that sounds racist.
No.
The white girl. I'm from Mississippi.
True.
I'm from Mississippi, y'all, so I may talk a little different. All right.
Hey,
you talk just fine.
You just talk just fine. You're okay.
Don't worry, you'll get to it directly. Don't worry about it.
No, but it's that. Not even to go into something else. That is the hardest thing, really, is dealing with the frustration of not having the people behind you after the acts or something like this. So like I said, even if no one else watches it, as long as my kids love what I do, it's whatever to me. But
I said it.
Figure it out later.
Make some of this money back. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a lot of money I spent.
Well, see, I'm glad you came on board because this is part of our platform is to showcase and put spotlights on people like yourself who have these dope projects, because being someone who's collected comics, watch cartoons, watches anime, television, movies, games, all this stuff, and you always do want to see yourself represented. This is why Black Panther was such a big hit. This is why certain animes that have our likenesses in it do big things. However, we always know to create these things, it costs money.
Yeah.
And in order to get the money, we need to support.
That
whether it's the 3D animation, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a web show, whether it's anything like Blerd Station or Always Press Record, this stuff costs money. It ain't free. Yeah. So you need to, and this is to the people out there that's watching and listening, pass the word along. A share is free. A share is completely free.
That part.
So when you see something like this, you're like, oh, this is dope. It may not speak to me, but I might know someone who likes it.
Well, like we say all the time, you know, treat us like you would treat Meg and Nicki Minaj right now.
I wouldn't say that, but
I say it as much attention that's gotten. I'm like, treat
mean,
us or my old catchphrase, treat us the same way you would treat Beyonce if she knew you were alive.
I would say treat it like Nicki is treating the whole Meg situation. Because because it's not a beef. A beef involves two people.
How about none of the above? How about I just don't care? Okay, I don't care.
But you need to see things like this, and you're right. You're right, Kendrick. There are times where it does take someone of the off color for somebody to notice it. It's unfortunate. We know that, but you know, when you have shows like Saturdays on Disney, or Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, or Craig of the Creek, you know, when you have these type of cartoons and they speak to our livelihood or to our childhood to some degree, or it makes us look better than what Hollywood generally would make us look like, right? You want that story told. You need that story told.
That goes into representation, though. That goes back to like, we know, for all our ages, all our combined ages in here, we all have seen fragments of representation in cartoons and anime. It's not even was now. Now you can see it's its own entity. But beforehand, you didn't have that many. You have the, how do I call this? You have the generic black character on almost every cartoon show out there. And I mean generic.
A unicorn sighting, in other words. It was a unicorn sighting. Whenever you saw somebody black in an animated feature, it was literally, yo, there's a black girl in this and what? Where? When?
But why was it always the generic black character with the worst fade?
Who, like Vince?
All of them
from Recess, or
I can go the entire line from Zach being in the Power Rangers to
Skeeter.
Recess. It's
don't
like
forget Skeeter. Skeeter is black. I don't care what anybody says. Skeeter is black.
Let's be honest. They said blue because, you know, black didn't go over well with certain people. So let's just say he's blue, but he has a black attitude. I'm like, that's kind of messed up, Nickelodeon, but I get it. But at the same time, we're starting to now see, like you said, if it's not introduced by napkins, then we're not going to know about it because we didn't have a foothold in there. It's almost as if what's his face that opened his very first animation studio. I cannot remember his name to save my life right now. I mean, how many people outside of that was thinking of doing an anime, much less opening up a studio, much less like Mr. West here with his show? Like, we're starting to see more and more of that. So yes, it does, because the fact that we're, you know, whether it be COVID or whether it just be that you may have reached a certain point in your life where you're not happy with your job and decided, hey, I want to do this and go follow my passion. Okay, cool. But it goes back to the whole thing. You cannot sit there. And I say this now because honestly, I'm just too tired to care about being nice about people's feelings anymore.
There we go. Come on.
29 days of ruthlessness. Let it fly.
I mean, if you wanted something, like we say it all the time, it's like, if you wanted this content, you wanted this channel, you wanted this to be represented by us. Okay, you're gonna have to support it. You're gonna have to spread the word. You're going to actually have to put in work. I hate to say it, but if you want something, you got to put in work. You're not a Kardashian.
No, exactly.
You're gonna have to do something.
You have to show the support to the people like the Kendrick Wests, the Carl Jones, the Laren DeJeanettes, the Sploof Animation, the team that's over at Jaka Lost in Rome. You know, you have to, the J1 Animation team. You have to show support to these entities that are really pushing to put our faces up front.
Very much.
We're not trying to push anybody out. We're just trying to tell our story, and from our point of view, and just have fun with it. We don't necessarily need to be over there all the time. We can do our thing here. There's the show on Netflix, Super 7. about the four black African girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're all superheroes. That's dope. I've watched the series. I gotta watch the second season. It's dope. I think it's fun because I like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's fun. It's cute. We need to see more of that. Craig of the Creek. I can sit back there and watch that just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to see more of these stories. It can be lighthearted. It can be the anime. It can be like what Wingless Comics is doing with Air Force Ones. You know, we need to see all of that. Like, it doesn't have to be just one. We're not a bottle. We're not getting bottlenecked.
No,
don't need to be bottlenecked.
That part it doesn't have to be one avenue. There's so many places, and we see that in the stories that are created. We see that with the Brave Ones. We see that with Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. We see that with Hot Shot. And the thing about it is, I love to say this: you don't have to include electricity. I'm so happy that I don't see that anymore. No shade. No shade. No shade.
About to see it.
No, we're gonna get it.
I say you're about to see it. I couldn't get away from the electricity trope. It's just a dope power, man. Not even looking at it.
Don't get me wrong.
It is a dope power.
A dope power. So we had that conversation before. We were just like, why? Spartan said, why is it electricity? I said, it's an unmatched power. It truly is an unmatched power. I get what you're saying. It's unpredictable, you know, and that's kind of the thing. And I'm glad like people like Static and Black Lightning and Storm, for that matter, hold those roles very well, you know.
But don't get me wrong, if you're debuting a character, what I'm getting at is it's always been the generic electricity powers. No one's ever sat there and said, okay, you're a black character that has the ability to control electricity. Could he possibly be able to control every electrical grid in the world? Could he actually conduct electricity through the elements? Could he do something different? Is what I'm getting at.
No,
like,
we have to see the evolution of Black Lightning through the years, because at one point he really was not a powered being,
right?
But then when you have Bruce Wayne turn around and say, "Yeah, I have to watch you." Because you are one of the more powerful members of the league. Like,
it's like
they sleeping on you. So
when you get on the list, it's like when you get on it, isn't that bad? When you get on the list, you can finally say that you're considered a threat.
When you see Batman with a clipboard talking about,
he was like, we need to watch this son of a bitch.
Done. All right, your ass is on the list. I don't even care. Fuck your feelings and tell your kids you may not be coming home.
Right. Meanwhile, Bruce is like so busy. Everybody's so busy looking at Clark and Diana. They need to be looking over here at Black Lightning right now.
Jefferson's over there going, keep ignoring me if you want to.
Look, I'm just trying to train my girls. That's it. But yeah, you're right.
But you know what's funny? Chris mentioned this when we're trying to get eyes on our folks like Kendrick, who, first of all, like I said, sir, what you're doing is phenomenal. I'm a fan already, and I've only had a chance to glance it for a little bit, and I'm a comic fan like everybody else here. Getting our people to see this is easy and hard. It's easy because you find those just like us who will gravitate to it because it's something out of the ordinary. It's something different. It's something beautiful, and it's been made by our folks. It's hard because they've been so trained in what they see on social media, especially TikTok, which is notorious for that. So now you're fighting the algorithm, which, like our second in command always says, fuck the algorithm, big time. I concur with that. And I will scroll through TikTok and I will see more people bitch and complain about something and say, I see very few people being creative with their time and their talent and just displaying what they do. And I want to see more of that because I was that kid. Chris was that kid. Spartan was that kid. And Tafara, to a certain extent, was that kid who wanted to see something different, but you were not part of the popular group. And to talk about it, you were considered a kid with 3 eyes and 2 antennae. But seeing
I learned the art of fuck 'em early. Early. I was just like, I'm going to enjoy this. and fuck you.
That's why when I see you pop up in the Facebook group, I'm like, finally somebody who's submitting something that's not the same fucking meme 10 times in a row.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Why my post don't get approved? I'll pay money. No.
Like the kid says, we're both gonna have black eyes and rainy days. But it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And as a lifelong comic kid who sat on the porch reading Black Panther and getting bullied, but seeing, look how far we've come. You know, visionaries like yourself who've created the brave ones. And I can't wait to see what other projects you got coming out, because I'm already gonna let you know I'm loud with it. I'll be like, you ain't gonna see Kendrick stuff. He's dope. Shut up. And that's just gonna be me, you know. They're gonna see the beard and know.
And I think that's what it just takes. It takes a certain type of person to just say, fuck it. I'm putting this out here. It takes a certain type of person to say, I don't care if you don't like it. This may not be for you. It takes a certain person to keep going beyond that, because I know what you're talking about when you say, where's the support? Y'all ask for this. Where's the likes, or where's the support, or where's the backing, or where, you know, and that's why you have to keep beating them over the head, because they've been beat over the head with everything else. Might as well beat them over the head with this as well.
And also, don't wait to jump on the train because somebody who may have had who actually had more status called it out, and then you want to be like, oh well, I knew about it. Well, if you knew about it before said more influential person knew about it, why aren't you doing what they were doing from the beginning when they saw it? See, you can't sit there and want to help after it finally catches fire, because that's the type of support I could do without, honestly. Especially in that sense. Like, if someone, you know, let's just say Angela Bassett just happens to come across our show, and let's just say she goes, I love what you do. I would love to, much less be on the show.
Yes.
And of course, Chris will immediately be like, yeah, you know, whatever you want, just whatever you want. But
you haven't heard the deal. I'm like, you're the queen. I know you're not trying to screw me.
Right. But imagine somebody of her status does something before someone else that's been knowing about what we do for the longest time and does nothing. That to me is like, you were just better off just being quiet. Because why did it take someone else to do what you should have done? Like we talk about, to share, to follow, to tell people about it, it's free. You'll share every meme on TikTok. You'll share everything you see on Instagram. You'll share your Snapchats, but you won't share somebody's passion. That's the part that I sit there and shake my head and be like, why even say then again, this is for those that, know about it and say we need it and then give no action. It's like, if you want to give support, cool.
If you look at, and I'm gonna use the IG page for Blerd's Eyeview. If you look at the IG page for Blerd's Eyeview, the stories section, it's nothing but support for the creatives. You're not gonna see filler. You might see something funny,
right?
But then it's right back up, right back. We're right back. It does not stop. It was like there is somebody black out there that got something dope. You need to see it. So that's just what it is. I believe it's a brand I created. I believe in it. I'm gonna keep it pushing. So even when I'm tired, I'm like, it's 4 a.m. Oh, Kendrick got a new thing out. Hold on. Share.
And that's the thing, and that's the thing we all know in this group. That's what I love about that. Passion does not have a clock out. It doesn't. I mean, if you're gonna be
even though my second command has like, do y'all go to bed?
No. Sleep schedule's been trash all week, and it's been great.
What's sleep? It sounds wonderful.
My 2 a.m. is your 7 p.m. So shut up, okay?
Just be sitting up there like, oh, that's nice.
Creative clock is something else.
Oh,
yeah.
Creative clock.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna start calling the creative clock, because it's a beautiful thing.
Well, what Carl posted something yesterday. Some creators need time to just sit around and do nothing. That's after midnight for me. But I always see you pushing your stuff, and I know like it was a little out of your comfort zone when I asked you to come on the first time. But I kept seeing you share, and I was like, he needs like we need more eyes on this, and this was the perfect spot for you. So
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it would be a bit of an introvert. It's hard to talk to folks.
Oh yeah, it's
we hard to learn if you're making all this magnificent stuff. You gonna have to learn. Okay?
Some of this stuff is
the more the brave ones get seen, sir. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be talking.
I'm tempted to show the rest of this clip. I'm just to let them know, hey, look, this is what y'all missing out on. You need to get on board of this. And I think before we, that's what I'm gonna do. Instead of taking a break, I'm gonna show the rest of this clip.
What? No chocolate salty balls?
I'm gonna show the rest of this clip. Kendrick, can you stay around while we talk about the news afterwards?
Yep, I sure can.
All right,
my man.
So instead of a break, everybody, we're gonna watch the rest of episode 1 of The Brave Ones. You need to go check this out. I'll have his tag at the bottom of it, so you check this out.
Kira should have been here. She gonna be mad. She should have been here.
You did good, son. You did good.
Are you okay?
I should be asking you that.
Fair point.
You know who I am now, so you should know it would take a lot more than that to injure me.
I know. It's just that this is all crazy. I have powers. You have powers.
Listen, Deke. You've always wanted to make a difference. You have the brains. Now you have the brawn to do just that. Here, this may also help you with that, I hope.
Damn. Is this real?
Yes, it is, Deke. I had my friend Inari in Okinawa make it. She owed me a favor.
Thank you, Kwaku.
Now, you can be an actual ninja instead of pretending to be one like when you were a child.
You're never gonna let me live that down, are you?
Why would I? Now, how about a pic before you go? Huh? For the gram.
You know, no one says it anymore.
Yes, they do.
So, yeah, y'all need to get on that. Y'all need to quit playing. Y'all need to just.
So just to understand, because I've never had anyone break it down. I know these things cost money. What goes into the expense of an animation like that? Just so for people that want to contribute or help understand.
Okay. First, of course, you gotta design your characters. Which, if you are a halfway competent artist, you can kind of scribble something down on paper and get it ready to be turned into a 3D model. Now, I do a little bit of 3D modeling. I'm more on the animation side of everything. So all the characters are designed by me, but none of them are modeled by me.
Oh, I know that face. I know that face. I have done it.
No, I kept it clean. My sister just burst in my room too. So
y'all know what that face means. You know what that face means.
We're all cousins here. We all family.
It's like 4 years.
What you doing in here?
I'm sorry.
Don't you apologize. Don't you apologize. We all the fathers in this moment right now. We understand.
Yes.
But I've always been curious because you always hear like, oh, we had a budget of like this much, but they never explain like, okay, what you had a full like studio with you. What does it cost for the individual?
Well, let's start with character breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Each character costs about $800 from start to finish to create. About 300. If you can find, you really have to shop around.
Mm-hmm.
But I found a really good dude off of Fiverr. He was doing a lot of fun stuff for about $300-$400 for each character. I wish I would have used him from the jump because I probably would have saved about $400 per character. First 3 characters cost me about $800 each. And that's from modeling to rigging. And then if you want to count my work too, because I'm a texture artist as well, that's about $200 to $300 worth of work. So you really look at about $1,000 per character. Once I found the new guy, you can tack that down to about $700 per character. Then you have to purchase your assets. Like I said, I'm modeling some of this stuff, but if I've modeled every single thing that you saw in that video, this shit would have never came out. I would still be working on it. So I utilize sites like CG Trader, Sketchfab. And you can see the artists who contribute. Some of the stuff I am grabbing. Some people don't require credits, but I try to give credit whenever I can if they don't have, a name that has some kind of profanity in it or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll give them some credits or whatever. But that's really the big chunk of it is getting the character modeled, rigged, and textured. Then you have to build your scene. If I hire somebody else to build my scenes for me, that probably would be another $1,000. I'll say that the New York backscape that you saw, that was about $400. See the gym. The New York backscape was probably the big major purchase that I made. Like I said, if I try to do it myself, episode 1 would have never came out.
So a lot of it is gathering the assets and just kind of outsourcing. So that kind of better explains where the Martian blueberries of the world come in. So,
yeah, it's kind of the reason why I don't have an animated intro for Blerd's Eye just yet. I have a dope idea for one, but
everything goes into it. Just
I did a 40-second animation for. I guess I'm gonna give him a shout out. My guy named Promega. I hope I'm saying his name right. He's a rapper on Instagram that came across me, and he wanted me to do something for his. Let me look him up real quick. I don't want to butcher his name. I want to get it right. But he looked me up to do a little intro for him, and that's about 30 to 40 seconds. That's $300 to $400.
Yeah, and that's just Spartan's brain. I can see his brain like, oh, that's why the captain hasn't done it. Yeah, that's why I haven't done it.
And that's just the anime. We're not even talking about the models again. The
animation.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly what I'm about to ask. I said there's more there. Like that's just the I forgot what they call it.
I got a whole girl who does 3D modeling, and I'm starting to understand why she just moves from city to city at her whim. If she's getting that much per commission,
right?
I get it now.
If you can get steady work, man, you can make a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
But I really got into it not to. I don't want to say making money. I don't want to make any money, but that's not why I got into it. I really am doing it because I like it.
Yeah.
But if I were to make money, I would need. Really, you want to go to a studio or something. You can freelance all day, but that work is far and few in between. The majority of the money comes from getting hired by studios like Rooster Teeth and stuff like that, and having them. Just having consistent work. If you can do that freelance, then that's fine. But I'm only 3 years in, and I see other artists on Fiverr begging money and stuff like that. Well, let me not say begging. They're putting their services.
They're starving artists. They're
starving artists.
I mean, I get it. You got a battle between AI and people BSing jobs and using AI now.
Well, the good thing is with animation, I can't see You have AI assisted tools that can help you, like Cascader, but I don't really see, at least not for another 20 years, AI really just taking over an animator's spot.
Oh yeah, because AI still can't get
AI can only do so much.
They still can't get hands and eyes right. So I mean,
but AI can't even do locks right. So if that tells you anything, about AI. If they can't get a certain hairstyle right, we gonna be okay. We always gonna be artists.
They should.
So if people want to support the project, do you have like a Patreon, Kickstarter, a shop? Like, what can they do?
I don't, like I said, I don't really like begging for money. That's
it's not this. This is genuine support. This ain't begging. This is
they want to see it.
Funding is required for a passion project.
Right. We ain't Disney. He ain't Disney over here. He's not Disney over here.
Well, hold on now. I said I don't like begging, but I'll do what I got to do.
Donations are always accepted.
So I will accept. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask you for it, but if you're feeling generous, I do have a Patreon. Okay. It's just go on to Patreon. Is actually I'll type it in the chat over here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it up. Yeah, it's like we treat it like the church. Donations and contributions are always accepted.
Yeah, we just not a church. We're not tax free.
We're not tax free.
We're not pretentious about it either. So
right.
If you want to donate the coin, we will not complain. We will say thank you though.
Yeah, I'll even show you. I'll clip this and I'll throw everything in there after too. Also, if you ever need assistance with voice acting, you have an entire crew.
Yeah, it's
Like, yes, it's very true.
It's two of us right here that does voice acting now.
Yes, and he's more qualified than I am because I'm an old man. So
really,
all the stuff I post, just give me a script, I'll act on whatever you need me to.
Y'all beat me to it because I was gonna volunteer my services. I would be happy to be a part of this program.
I mean, I ain't to brag, but brother got IMDb. I got IMDb credits now, so I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. I mean, I am looking for voice actors. I'll keep you guys in mind. I am constantly searching, but I wanted to say, if you, because I said, I don't like begging for money. If you really want to support, then shop my merch.
Hey.
I got a store with stuff in it. Everything's designed by me. It doesn't have a custom URL yet, but I will be getting that.
There we
tonight.
go. He put the link in.
I got it.
Because I like I said, I don't like begging. I feel like if you're gonna support me, you should get something in return.
Right.
And the best way to do that is by buying merchandise. Now, the other thing I know is kind of pricey, but I don't really get a lot of that. I give them like $2-3 per item. But if you wear the shirt, if you wear the stuff, let your kids wear it, have them go to school. Like really, just the most valuable thing you can do is just spread the word. Because I don't want to be one of those guys who's bitching and complaining about folks not supporting. I actually want to do something about it. I am doing something about it. I run ads on YouTube and Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok to get the word out there. So it's not like I'm just hoping and praying people will pick it up. I'm actually going out there and I'm doing stuff.
There it is.
Y'all should definitely check out
this man has 3 different ways. You can go to his IG page, which is going to show you to the merch store and through the YouTube channel and the Patreon and the merch store.
I want that Kwaku t-shirt. That joker is amazing.
All I can sit there and say is you have 4X sizes. I'm like, my big ass thanks you. My big ass thing. Look, I'm gonna tell you, as a person that works, look, as a person that works out and loves anime, I cannot stress to you how hard it is to find stuff in 4Xs. I cannot tell. The fact that I saw 4X on your site, I damn near cried. I was like, okay, I have another area.
Wow.
On that note, we got a little bit of this.